Welcome to the President's Diary, a monthly television program that highlights the activities of the President both in and outside the Gambia.
Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the President?
Well,
the President does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
Hello and welcome to the President's Diary. Coming up in this edition, the President engages the media during his biannual Meet the Media Week, which seeks to foster transparency, bring the presidency closer to the people, and better communicate the government's policies. We'll bring you updates on the government's level of preparedness in hosting the OIC Summit next year, which is the world's second largest gathering of world leaders. Also, the exemplary gesture of the President in accepting the remains of the late Aja Asombi Bojang, mother of the former President, to be buried in the country. These and many more, please stay tuned. I am Falli Fadera with my co-presenter.
I am Zainab Fall, and thanks for joining us.
From the onset of assuming office in December 2016, President Adama Barrow has committed himself to an open political environment by fostering freedom of the media and expression. Recognizing the importance of the press in promoting good governance and democracy, the Media and Communication Unit of the Presidency designed a series of activities to engage with the public media regularly. And one such event is the biannual Media Week, during which the President holds a number of one-on-one interviews and a general press conference. Well, this year is no different. In mid-August, during this year's Media Week, the President held 5 one-on-one interviews with both local and international media outlets across different platforms, and a general press conference the next day. The two-day event marked the third since assuming the mantle of leadership in the country. The media event, which is initiated by the Press and Public Relations Department of the Office of the President, is one of the strategies for communicating the programs and policies of the Barrow government. It is in addition to the DPPR's bi-weekly press briefings with the media on the President's engagements and pertinent issues that the President has been briefed on, as well as the State House newsletter.
Let's now look at the most anticipated summit to be held in the Gambia in 2019. The Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. It is the second biggest gathering of world leaders apart from the UN. The country is gearing up for a successful hosting, and as part of ongoing preparations, a high-level technical meeting between the Gambia and the Saudi officials was convened at the State House in Banjul. After a closed-door meeting, the Saudi Minister of African Affairs, who headed the Saudi delegation, spoke to the press and expressed his country's 100% support to the Gambia's efforts in hosting a successful OIC summit come 2019. Highlighting the purpose of the visit, the minister said he was sent to make sure that the Gambia is fully equipped and has all that is required to make the summit a success. The Saudi Minister Ahmed Al-Katani expressed Saudi Arabia's willingness to enhance bilateral relations with the Gambia in all aspects. Already, the conference center construction has advanced. Preparations for other constructions and infrastructural development works are well underway. Several Muslim countries, including Turkey and Qatar, have also expressed commitment to assist the Gambia in the successful hosting of the summit. Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the President? Well, the President does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
The President has been hailed and praised by many for what is described as an exemplary leadership after he accepted for the body of the late Adja Assombi Bojang, the mother of the former president, to be buried in the Gambia after she died in Equatorial Guinea. As soon as news of her demise broke out, President Barrow joined Gambians in sending condolence messages to the families of the deceased and wasted no time in allowing her remains to be buried in the Gambia. He said the late Assombi Bojang was an elderly Gambian and a mother who deserved a befitting burial. In appreciation of the kind gesture, the President of Equatorial Guinea, Theodore Obiang, sent his daughter as a special envoy to present a letter of appreciation as well as request for her to attend the burial. Observers see the President's move as a demonstration of commitment to the values of peace, reconciliation and harmony that he always preaches.
It has now become a norm that the President takes time off his weekend to make surprise visits to places of interest to him and the public. It could be recalled that some time back, he visited the Tanje fish landing site to acquaint himself with the price of fish and the business of fisheries at fish landing sites in the country. Shortly before the Muslim feast of Eid al-Adha, commonly known as Tobaski, President Barrow made a surprise visit to the central abattoir in Abuko to assess the sales of rams. The livestock dealers took the opportunity and appealed to the President for government's intervention in upgrading the facilities. President Barrow assured them of government support while calling on them to be considerate of the price of the rams.
Recently, His Excellency President Adama Barrow received in audience the former Vice President Adja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang at the State House in Banjul. After the meeting, which was held in closed doors, Madam Jallow Tambajang spoke to the State House press corps and described the meeting as a sign of peace, unity and togetherness. Without divulging too much information about the subject of discussion, she said, like any other Gambian, she reserves the right to see the President of the Republic. And now to the next story. In his capacity as the current chairman of the Conference of Heads of States and Government of the Gambia River Basin Development Project, commonly known as the OMVG, President Barrow received officials of the Transnational Energy Project at the State House in Banjul to discuss the state of implementation of OMVG projects as well as the next OMVG summit to be hosted in the Gambia in November 2018. Other member countries of the organization include Senegal, Guinea-Bissau and Guinea-Conakry. Speaking to reporters shortly after the meeting, officials announced that the OMVG interconnection, transmission and distribution line of the hydroelectric power supply of the Sambangalo Dam project in Guinea-Conakry will reach the source of the Gambia in 2019. The project is part of the Gambia's energy roadmap and is one of the cheapest and cleanest sources of energy, and is also part of the West African energy market. The Gambia government is tremendously striving towards minimizing power interruptions, and maintaining energy remains a top priority for the government.
second closed-door meeting with the CFAX Group and officials of the Gambia Ports Authority at the State House, President Barrow said his government is committed to providing the political will to support all potential investments that are interested in the port expansion program. Officials of the investment outfit were at the presidency to outline their plans to engage in a public-private partnership investment in the maritime and port subsector by financing the construction of an inland container harbor in the country. Speaking to the State House press corps after the meeting, the managing director of CFAX Group, John R. Jenkins, said that his company is ready to support the port expansion project of the country by investing in the building of an inland container harbor. He said his group has the capacity to address the space constraint that the Gambia port currently grapples with. He added that his group has a diverse expertise in maritime, aviation, hospitality, oil and gas sectors. Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the president? Well, the president does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
His Excellency President Adama Barrow on Tuesday, August 28, 2018, received in audience the members of the International Association of Ahmadi Architects and Engineers. The delegation was led to the State House by the Amir of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Banjul, Baba F. Trawale. The group was at the State House to discuss plans to expand their humanitarian services to the Gambia through technical, engineering and technological support. Mr. Akram Ahmedi, chairman of the association, said this came on the backdrop of instructions from their Jamaat leader to help develop Africa. According to Chairman Ahmedi, top on their priority for the Gambia is to build an international center of excellence for vocational and technical training called Masul International Technical College. The group leader said they are very good, highly qualified African engineers and architects who are ready to transfer the requisite skills and knowledge needed to empower young people into meaningful self-reliant ventures. He observed that there is a skill gap in the country in the area of architecture, artistry and technical skills, which he hopes the college will try to address. Emphasizing that their ultimate goal is skills and knowledge transfer, Chairman Ahmedi said some of the resource persons will be recruited in-country through training of trainers. In response, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Adama Barrow, said he was honored to have received the delegation. He extolled them for creating investment opportunities in the country with this new venture. President Barrow praised the track records of the Jamaat for providing quality services in the country, citing the hospital in Talinding as an example and the numerous schools that are built across the country. He expressed the commitment of his government to creating the enabling environment for everyone to excel. The President used the opportunity to encourage youth to learn skills if they are not able to excel academically in school.
On August 24th, President Adama Barrow received the UN Resident Coordinator in the Gambia, Ms. Ademamoye Lekoje, at his office in Banjul. The courtesy call was to bid farewell to the President as she ends her 5-year term as the head of the UN system in the country. In an interview with the State House Media Corps, Madam Lekoje advanced some of her observations about the emerging democracy in the country and expressed optimism that the prospects of the new democracy in the Gambia are good. She added that she would urge Gambians to be steadfast in nation building. Urging Gambians to take leadership and responsibility for the development of the country, the outgoing UN representative applauded the strong partnership that has been built between the United Nations and the Gambia. Madam Lekoje asserted that they have together succeeded in organizing landmark elections in the country, including holding the National Assembly and local government elections, which went peacefully. She elaborated on other areas of achievement, including the development of a blueprint, the National Development Plan 2018-2021, which was endorsed by the Gambia's development partners. Madam Lekoje said the UN and the Gambia government are currently working together to ensure that the pledges made by the partners are realized. She explained that her successor and the UN members would continue the partnership. Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the president?
Well,
the president does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
Maybe when he comes out, he prays first. He prays for his people before doing anything else. And he's really working hard, trying to bring the country together. And I think that is one of his main objectives.
Na jublu ci aduna bi rep bir Gambia lu mu soxla lepp doomi Gambia lu mu soxla na ci taxaw ci lolu rek mu dimbalé julit bi
ngamira ka mirale abala banko sambala nyamena moli sola ta bulu mina pour ay ma koy ji
non because mom duñ ko dé déga sax mu ngi def li mu ngi def xam nga luñ dé gëna déga mu ngi tukki dem na réew mi dem na réew male ñun loolu lañ dé déga.
On my own perspective, you know, Gambians do love to have to eat a lot in the morning. So on my own perspective, if the president wakes up early in the morning, he does eat a lot.
One thing I'm sure of is that he oftentimes receives briefings from his ministers, and I believe that has to be daily. And of course, when it comes to international relations, I also believe that he does that a lot.
Man li nga xam ne mooy suma xalaat mooy président Barrow bu xeexoo bi julli def ay farataam yëpp diggante moom yàlla la des mooy askan wi nga xam ne ñoo ko sànni doon karta liggéey bi nga xam ne moom la sartawante ak ñoom mu def ko ci xanam bi nga xam ne moom lañ ko soxlaa.
len di ngadi e de weltorima population fof no weltanima ko ɗum ɗo woni ko haani gollude koyo golla yimɓe leydi ndi o gollna fayɓe o gollana rewɓe ko ɗum haani gollude population fof no weltanima bisabilillahi Allah.
Shower, pray, maybe take some minutes to read the Quran, and then check his to-do list and work on them. Reservoir visitors or investors and talk to his cabinet members. I think that is what he does.
Well, I know there must be some documents here and there from one ministry to another that he needs to approve or to see certain things. I'm just assuming, but I don't know actually what is in government. I can't tell, but it might be like that. From one office to another, they might come for approval, or they have something in cabinet they have to discuss, and then for final approval, maybe he's the head of the government, so they need to come to him, and then they ratify certain things, or they just approve one document or the other. I think he is probably doing such things like that.
I think every day when you wake up, go to the office and see whether the departments are responding to or taking part or doing their responsibility as well. And himself also, is his job to see that everything in the country is normal, because if the situation is unrest, he cannot relax. So the basic job for the president to see that the atmosphere is conducive for all the citizens in the country.
Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in our today's edition of the President's Diary. My name is Falli Fadera and my co-presenter is Zainab Fall. Join us for the next edition.
Thank you for the pleasure of your company, and it's a bye from us.